It's gotta be for the wire.
Both.
I think I did too. Put it down.
Oh, yes!
He was
down.
I got it right, but it took me too long. Oh, yeah. Right.
Someone's got to dethrone Lennon. All right, last one. All right, so Little Bill wins.
First and second, baby.
All right, so show the end results. Who wins? Feedback and results allows the students to give you results back. And then one thing I'll show you guys here is a new part of this, which is actually really cool that they've just added. It's called Ghost Play. I'm going to explain that later on because it allows kids to be able to play this at home for a review game, or it allows you to give it to them as homework. It allows you to give them a link which they can complete at home, those types of things. And it actually also allows you to have class competitions, so compete with this class versus the next class. And I'll kind of show you how that works here later on in the presentation. All of you should hopefully have the presentation on your Google Drive. I should have shared it with you. If I did not share it with you and you don't have access to it, I will send around a little sheet and just make sure to put your name, and I will share that with you. So if you don't have access and you want access, I will share that with you. So again, what we're going to be looking at is Kahoot, and I just want to start off obviously with Kahoot so that you guys saw how it worked, for those of you who maybe haven't seen it, and so you can actually experience it before we actually dive into the actual talking about how to create them and those types of things. So essential question is, how can I use Kahoot to engage students within my classroom? And again, now with this ghost mode, it's ways you can engage them outside of the classroom as well, which is really kind of cool and something I just picked up on a couple days ago. So to create a Kahoot, you go to create.kahoot.it, then you would sign in, or if you don't have a Kahoot, sign up. Okay, it is free to sign up. All right, so there's no cost to it. Now, when you go to create a Kahoot, there's 3 types of Kahoots. The 3 types are right here. First one is quiz. It's a timed response one, similar to what we just did. All right, it's a timed response. Points are awarded for those of you who answer fast and correctly. There is also a discussion one, which is a single question, and it doesn't have any sort of competitive edge to it. So if I wanted to pose a question, okay, why is Trevor Lennon so weird? I could pose that, and then people would respond back on the Kahoot, and the answers would appear on the board. This is a good way to do a debate type format. Okay, I like using it for debates. Okay, what do you think about such and such amendment, or what do you think about this issue? Okay, and then people would respond and it would appear up on the board. We would discuss it, talk about it. Okay, you also have a survey. I typically use the survey portion for either pre-assessments or post-assessments, or I also use it for modified versions for students who need modifications. Okay, this is very similar to quiz, but there's no time limit and there is no competitive edge to it. It's just moving at a slower pace. Okay, and finding out basically what they know. Okay, this is where you could assign it for homework or give it as a assessment piece of it if you would like. Okay, once you click on what type you want to create, you actually fill in the questions, the images, the limit, the time, the answers, all that kind of stuff, correct and incorrect, and I'm going to show you that here. And then you fill in the proper settings. Public means anybody can see it. Private means it's your own and you can then play it or use it. You can share it with people though. So if Mr. Archer has a Kahoot username, I could share it with him and then he could use that as to play that as well with his students. So one of the US history teachers can create it and share with all of the other ones, or gym teachers, or whatever it may be. Right? Then from there you're finished. Okay. Now I did find a YouTube video right here. You just click that. It's about a 5-minute video and it takes you step by step on what to do. So if you forget everything I say today, you want to go look back at that, there it is for you. And it'll show you exactly how to create a Kahoot. All right. Now, what I'm talking about when you create Kahoots. So when you are on your Kahoot, it will look like this. Okay, and I just pick a Kahoot I want to create. I click quiz. All right, I would name it. I'm just going to name it example. And then here are where I would put my first question. I could put an image. I could take it, how long of a time limit you want, that kind of thing. And then correct answer, incorrect answer. If I want to change this to the correct answer, all I have to do is click right here. And that means that's the correct answer. All right, if you want to add options, if you want to subtract options, so say the most options you can have are 4. If you want to subtract them, just click the little minus. If you want to add one, click the plus. All right, and then you can quickly, easily add or subtract answers depending on what you want within Kahoot. All right, so that's fairly quickly, easily tutorial. I'm trying to go quick so I give you guys a chance to actually create one. Okay, so that's again a pretty quick way to do that. Now, how to play. When you go to play them, you will go up to My Kahoot. You will then click on the title of Kahoot in order to view the questions. So for instance, if I'm on, again, Kahoot, I'm going to go to My Kahoots. Excellent. Okay, here are my Kahoots. If I want to play, I just click play. If I want to view or edit or change things, I click on the title. And now underneath is all of my questions. Okay, and if I want to view the answers, okay, here's the answers. Okay, the answers will pop up. And then again, if I want to edit it, edit is right up there at the top. You can go back and edit whatever you want. All right. Now, if I wanted to share this with someone, say I wanted to share with Archer, I just click right there, click share, and I would type in his username, and his would pop up, and I click share. And now, whoever it is would be able to use that Kahoot within their classroom. All right. Great for working together collaboratively within reviews, those types of things with classes. All right, so that kind of goes through how to create your Kahoot. Now, when you are actually playing a Kahoot, so say I'm going to actually go back to my Kahoots and I'm going to show you when you go to play, you're going to come up to settings. All right, these are the settings that are going to come up. Highly, highly, highly recommend that you have your display game pin throughout the entire thing. The reason I say that is what ends up happening is the game pin is at the bottom. So say you have a student who comes in and walks in late, all they have to do is go to kahoot.it and the game pin will be right down at the bottom so they can join your game halfway through the game has started. Or say someone gets kicked off, say internet goes down, something happens where someone gets kicked off, you have it down at the bottom, they can then re-access it and join your game again. Right? Other one of these, they're pretty self-explanatory, but randomize your order of questions, randomize the answers, play music. There's also some advanced settings. I usually don't touch the advanced settings, but feel free to look through them and kind of do what you like or what you think is the best.
You can set the time. Can you set the time for each question?
Yes, you can. So that's within the edit. So when you edit it, it will say the maximum you can do is 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. But the fastest I think is 20 seconds. So, all right. So that's how you would create and how you. So again, the URL is right up there. I also put the URL right up here on the board. So if you are looking for it, that should be. This is an L, not an I, just so you know. And it is case sensitive. So again, it's only 3 questions just for me to kind of get an understanding of where you guys are at with Google and what I can tailor my presentation to. So.
You just took it away. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's right up there. Yep. Yep. Sorry.
That's okay.
Not popping up for you there, Mr. Taylor?
I'm struggling today.
Mine says I need permission.
Really?
You need permission.
Let me go grant you permission. It is case sensitive there, Mr. Taylor, just so you know. What's that? 2006. Doesn't sound
You asked him for us, he's good. He's a pretty good football player too, this senior year, but I was worried because that voting had said a while back, and it was like,
Yep.
it said it was Tom Brady was senior, and I just looked up there, it's his dad, yeah.
Ooh.
He's got charged. That's not what.
That's not cool.
Did you get in?
No.
What's your username?
Me?
Yeah. For Google.
Okay. For my Chrome one?
Just your Google. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
J Homestead Hagelin. Or J H Homestead Hag. There it is. There it is.
There it is, right there. Okay.
Why does it keep?
I just typed in Homestead, so that's
Yeah,
why it was
you'll
wondering.
find it.
There.
And now should I retype the URL again?
I sent it to you through email or your
Oh,
Google
got it.
Mail. So if you just go to Google
Okay.
Mail, it will should pop up.
Well,
right for
I
you.
didn't sign up for this either, so I'm not gonna be,
What's that?
I didn't sign up for.
That's fine. I'll share it with you. So this slideshow you're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share it with you. I'll do that right now.
Be easier if I could just go to Google.
There, so it should be under shared with me, and you can
Yep, I got it.
again just copy and paste that link there, Mr. Taylor, as well. So you want to learn how to make these forms?
Yeah, I know how to do that at all.
Okay. And actually this year I'm putting all my tests on Google Forms too. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see how it works. Mr. Newman's been doing it for like 3 years. Yeah, they're all Google Forms. So and then he has Fubru, which corrects my work. So I can show you how to create a
can just copy and paste them. Copy the questions
yeah.
into the question and then paste or copy your
multiple choice answers, whatever it may be.
Something in the hallway.
There's different settings, so you can do like check boxes, you can do multiple choice, you can do true and false, there's all of these options.
And that's like essay.
Correct, yep, so it's called paragraph, what they call it is paragraph, and they can type in their essay.
Okay.
I can show you how to do that.
saving a desktop is the best way to use Google. Alright.
Alright, I can't find. Why am I not?
Not finding it on this page.
Just go to the box.
Go down to, click on the other. Oh, drive, there it is, okay, wrong. Let's see, the drive. And then share with me. There. And there's the presentation right there. All right, so as I think Mr. Taylor's finishing up the form or taking the form. I'm gonna get going, just so I wanna give you guys plenty of time to work. So I'm hoping my hope is that I only talk for 10 minutes here and then I give you 30 minutes to work, or 30 minutes to work on things that you guys hear from my presentation. So my focus today is collaborating with Google Drive and Docs and how to use this within your classroom with students, parents, those types of things. So first off, why Google Drive and Google Docs? And actually, I think no, I didn't. Okay, why Google Drive and Google Docs? Google Drive and Google Docs allows you to be able to work with multiple people at the same time, and they don't even have to be in the same city, same state, they could be across the world. Google Docs and Google Drive allows you to do a lot of things in order to collaborate, and I'm going to talk about those. The reason I have my sister-in-law up here is because a couple days ago, my sister called me and said, hey Matt, I need help. I don't know how to use Google Drive and Google Docs. And she said, I'm taking a class at Northland, and 2 of my classes actually are primarily on Google Drive and Google Docs, and I don't know how to use it at all. And so she came over, I gave her a little tutorial on it, and that's where it sparked my idea of, hey, maybe I need to give more tutorials on how to use Google Drive and Docs, because her school district did not have Google Drive and Google Docs. Ours does, and it really is a tool that we can utilize to collaborate with multiple people. All right, and at the college level, they're starting to use it quite often as well. And so that's my focus is how we need to prepare our students for their future in which they're going to be met. Now, is Google Drive and Google Docs going to be a future? I don't know, but it's definitely the now, something people are using now. And it puts a big emphasis on the word that we often hear, teamwork or collaborate. Okay, so collaboration. Oh, there's my essential question. So how often do you engage in curriculum collaboration with your colleagues, which we're going to talk about how can you do this to cut down meeting times and collaborate through Google, and then also with your students. Collaboration, to work jointly with others or together, especially in an intellectual endeavor. 3 groups that we need to, as teachers, or we're told to collaborate with, or that we need to work closely with. Students, parents, and colleagues. We're going to address ways, or some ways in which we can collaborate with those individuals today within this presentation. So let's start with the basics of Google. Collaborating, right? The biggest thing we need to know or be able to do within Google is to be able to share documents or share slides or share forms. Okay? There are different types of sharing. All right? Now, when you go to share something, and I can show you guys how to share a document or share a form or share a slide, but you need to know what type of sharing you are doing. First off, edit. This allows the student or allows the person you are sharing it with to actually edit that document. So if you send a document to Jeff and I want him to, and I say can edit, he can edit and change that entire document. Okay, so if you send that to him, make sure you're aware of that. Now, other option you can do is comment. So students cannot actually edit the document, they can't change it, but they can comment on it. So they can add comments into it. The comments will show up on the side. All right, so that's an option. The option I use most often is view. So when I send a document to my students, I say can view it. And the reason I do that is because it will allow the students to see it, but they can't edit anything in it. Now, if I want them to edit it, what I tell them to do is to make a copy of it. And then that becomes their document, and it copies that exact document that I sent to them. So say I'm doing a worksheet on Google, or say I'm doing something that I want them to write in answers. I send it to them as a view only, and then they make a copy of it, and then they fill in the answers below.
And how did they make a copy?
That's what I'm going to show you right now, is how do you make a copy. So if you want to make a copy, here's the presentation right here or the
Is this
resource
the
page.
PowerPoint that you just sent us?
What's that?
Are you gonna share the PowerPoint? that
Yeah,
you
the
sent us?
PowerPoint should already be shared with you.
Okay, so you're not sharing that, this is something different, you're gonna
Correct.
show us how, okay.
Yep, so
You're
this
gonna
is
show
how
us
to make a copy.
Okay.
Make a copy.
So
So
I can make a copy of your PowerPoint that you sent me?
correct, and you could edit it however you want.
Got it,
Okay, so here's my resource page that was on when you guys got sent the what are the descriptions and that kind of thing. If I want to make a copy of this, I just click on File right up at the top here, and you go down and it says Make a Copy. Now, when I click Make a Copy, it's going to come up with a title or what you want to name it. Whenever you make a copy, it's always going to say Copy of and the exact title you have. So my title was Matt Bakke using Google Drive and Docs resource page. It's going to say copy of and then that title. What I would recommend is if you're naming it or you're having the kids name it, give them something specific to name it. Okay, so when we do folders, I tell the kids to put US history, their last name, first name, and what period they're in. So it'd say US history, Bakke, Matt, period 2. Okay, because one time I did this and I said, all right, name it US history, and I got US history, US history, US history, US history, and I didn't know whose it was. Okay, so make sure you are specific on how you want them to name it. That's up to you. I have some other options or some other ways you can name it later on in the presentation that I'll show you. Okay, now the other part of this is if you want to share it with the same people. So say Jeff is on my team at Valley, and I create a document or I make a copy of it and I want to share it with my team members who already have access to this document. All I have to do is click share with the same people, and it automatically gets shared with Jeff or my team members. Okay? So this is the basics of how to share things. Again, view, I think, is the best when working with students. And the reason is because then it doesn't change your document at all. It does not edit your actual document, it just allows them to view it, and then if you want them to edit it, have them make a copy. Now, the one thing about that is after they make a copy of it, and they put in the answers, they have to share it back with you. Okay? And if you say share it with me, typically most of the students know how to share it. Okay? Or a student in the class would be able to show them how to share it. Okay? That's one of the other things is the students oftentimes know more about Google Drive and Docs than I do. So
does this look the same if you're in a document that I put in Google Classroom?
In some capacity, yes.
So that you can have the students take a quiz on Google Classroom.
Yep.
You have to choose the sharing.
Can edit or can view.
Yeah.
Now, one of the cool things about Google Classroom actually is one of the options Google Classroom gives you is if you post an assignment on there, it will automatically make a copy of it for them.
Okay.
So
So then they will have editing rights
Correct.
or
Yep. No, well now
or answering. They can
answering
put their
privileges,
answers.
correct.
Okay.
Yep, and there's an option that says make a copy automatically for them.
Okay.
And so when they click on it, it's automatically going to make a copy.
Okay.
Now they'll have to go in and rename it, however. The
Mhm.
cool thing also about Google Classroom is when they turn that assignment in, it automatically goes to a folder
Yeah.
in your drive for you,
Yeah.
which is really cool. If you guys haven't learned about Google Classroom, highly recommend it. It's awesome. Okay, so that's the sharing, different types of sharing, how you can share different things. All right. Now, collaborating with Google. Another thing just to be aware of is revision history. Okay, so if I have this document out there and oops, something happened, someone edited it, and I don't want it that way anymore. I can change it back to whatever I wanted by going into the revision history and clicking on whoever it is that changed it. So I'm going to show you how that works here real quick. So if you go to, again, I'm going to use this document right here just as a reference. If I want to check the revision history, right at the top it says when it was last edited. So it says last edit was 11 hours ago. I click on that. Up pops up my revision history. As you can see, Scott Conrad created it, and there's where I edited it. Now, if I want to see what I did at August 18th, and I'm not going to go through that, I'm going to let you guys kind of work on your own on what
Sure.
you want to work on at that time, and I'll be here to help.
Is that kind of what Google Classroom is then?
Google Classroom is more of a site. It's more of like your classroom site.
Got it.
It's kind of like, it's almost like a Facebook page in a sense. People can post, people can put things on there. You send out assignments through there, and they then turn in those assignments on Google Classroom that then come to your Google Docs. It's very,
That
very
might
cool.
be easier than
Yes,
typing in all
Correct.
the names. All you give the kids is a code then,
correct.
and they are in your class then.
Yep,
So you could just do one class and have
Correct.
all of your kids use the same code if you want
Correct.
to give all your kids.
depending
Are
on,
they two different, like, depending on what you're doing, like, do you know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
you can do a discussion in Google Classroom too, and you could do just a prompt or whatever.
exactly,
But you can do an assignment too and give it to everybody
correct.
that way.
On Google Classroom, you can have that discussion. You can also post these documents and link them to your Google Classroom. So it allows them to open them up and do those types of things. So if you share it on Google Classroom, you do share it with all the students. So that's the cool aspect. I use Google Classroom for pretty much all the time in my class. And that allows me to share, all my assignments are through Google Classroom or through Google, that kind of thing. And then it allows, again, like we
It's
were saying,
awesome.
it is, it's very cool.
Have you used it?
I have used it, yes.
It's very, very cool.
It's very cool.
So, and some of these, like revision history, all that stuff stays with it. So like, you can go back to the document and see the revision history, all those types of things. So, and I can show you some more of that as well. Google folders. Okay, this is, to me, this is the greatest way you can collaborate with students and with colleagues. Okay, this allows you, students and colleagues, to share documents quickly. All you have to do is put it in the folder and everybody can see it. Okay, gives the students a consistent spot to hand in work for you to check or for you to check work. Again, if you're not using Google Classroom, this is an alternative to that. Allows you to give individuals feedback using Google Docs, so I can share a rubric with them. I can share individual things with them that all pertain to their documents. Allows you to work individually while collaborating with colleagues, so less meeting time. When I first came in as a teacher, Kayla Steffen and I were first year US history teachers together, and we kind of sat there and were like, well, how are we going to do this? And we said, well, let's kind of divide and conquer and see what resources are out there. And we didn't want to sit down and have to meet for 3-4 hours together. So what we did is we created a folder and we called it Collaborating US History Folder. And what we did is we just started dumping resources in it. And we shared it with both of us so that all these resources we both could see. So if I put something in that folder, Kayla can see it, can edit it, can change it, that kind of thing. We then, when we got to the Civil War unit, we took an hour to meet and talk about, okay, these are the things we want to get done. But then what we did is the rest of the time we didn't even meet. We finished the whole Civil War unit just by going through Google folders. So we would put documents in there, we'd look at the worksheet, we'd look at what the plans were, we'd cross off things as they were done. It allows you to work collaboratively with colleagues pretty quickly. It will help you to keep your drive organized and clean without having it to constantly look through Shared With Me. Again, the difference between Shared With Me and My Drive. My Drive, I like to explain it as it's your desktop. Okay, this is your computer, anything on your computer. Now, if I want to send something from my computer to Jeff's, that's where Shared With Me comes in. Okay, it's their desktop, but they're giving you access to it. Okay, that's the difference between the two. Okay, My Drive means it's yours, you have it on your Google. Okay. Now, how to create a Google folder. Okay, I go through the steps right here for you. Okay, I will help you with this if you are interested in this. Okay, it's pretty easy, just click new folder, and then when you go to share it, you share it the exact same way that you would have shared a document, okay? Now, when you share a folder, the people that you share that folder with, if you want them to be able to edit documents in that folder, you would click Can Edit. If you want to just be able to view it, Can View. Okay,
And you
that's
could
up
do that with each individual
Correct.
document.
Correct, yes. Now, well, no, not necessarily.
Oh.
So if you do the folder, like say you have a folder and you want them to be able to edit anything in the folder, it's Can Edit. Can View, they can
But
view.
you're not looking at the individual documents
No.
in that folder.
Correct. It's anything in that folder they'd be able to edit or view. So you can, it depends on.
But they could make a copy of it and
Correct.
then,
And then, yes, exactly. That's another way they can do it as well. So, now, name it whatever you want. Here's some things I use. My folders. For my folders, my individual ones, I name it either like by the period number, maybe school related, coaching. So I have a folder that says coaching, and then anything with my coaching I put in there. Committees, maybe committees I sit on. For colleagues, I have the collaboration US history folder. We have an Eagles team folder. So the team that I am on for middle school, we have an Eagles folder. We dump all of our resources in there. And we share with the new people coming in. We take access away from the people who have left us. Okay, and that folder is constant and something that's interchanging, that kind of thing. We put all of our assignments, notes, everything there. Students, here's how I have them label it. Class, US history, last name, first name, and period number. Okay, there's an example right there. Whatever works for you guys, okay? I'm just giving you an option of how I do it. All right?
so do you have one folder that says students on it?
So this is what I have. If I were to go to my drive, I have my school computer, so anything that's on my desktop, because I also use Google as my backup. So I don't back up my computer through a hard drive, I back up my computer through Google. And I can show you guys how to do that as well. But then I have school Google, okay, and then I have broken down by year, and then I have the team folder, North Dakota Studies collaboration folder, US history Bakke. So like the collaboration folder is anything I've shared with Kayla or Brady Johnson. History Bakke is just the things that I have that are mine that I don't want them to be able to edit.
Right.
So, and then this is our team folder where then we break it down by Eagles assignments, activities, movie permission slips, team notes, those types of things.
Do you have your students in?
Yes, the way, so I'd have to go back to the previous year, so 2014.
Okay.
So then I have period
Oh, okay.
5, and then under period 5, I have each one of my kids actually make a folder.
Yeah.
And then that's
And
where,
they can drop it in there.
and that's where they hand in all of their work.
But the only thing that's cumbersome about that is that you have to input all the student names.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't,
Okay.
because of the fact that they create the folder and they share it with me. And so it's their folder, but they've shared access to me.
Okay.
So I don't have
And
to.
then how does it go into the right period?
What I do is I click add to my drive. So if I wanted to share with me, so they'd share a folder with me, or they'd share a document with me. So like here, Amy Rogers is getting ready for Chromebooks and netbooks. If I wanted to add this to my drive, right there, click add to my drive. Once I click that, then I can put it wherever I want on my drive. So if I want to put it under Google, double click on Google, go to 2013-14 year, then I can go to, I should go to 14.
Whatever folder.
Yeah, whatever folder I want. So then I could go to period 1 and click it in period 1 and click move.
But once it's been shared with you, do you have to put it like that?
Yeah, I would have to move it to it. So and one way to do that is select all of them. So if they do period 4,
Yeah, you can select.
select all of them and then move all of them at once. So you only have to do it one time.
Especially if you do an assignment, right, then all of them are
Correct.
in there at that
At the
time.
same
and they're-
time.
yeah,
Exactly.
You can just click them all and move
And
them
move
over.
them all at once. So you can move
Okay.
all 20 at once.
Okay.
So it makes it pretty quick
Yeah.
actually. All right, so that's folders. Okay, that's how you share a folder. That's how you are able to create a folder. Here's some more information on Google options or folder options. Allows people to view or edit it. Have students create a folder for your class and then share it with them. one thing that I like about the folder aspect is if they turn in an assignment, and then I have a rubric, I make a copy of that rubric, I fill it out with their information, and I put it right back in their folder.
Oh,
So then that's how I hand back their rubric. So I'm not handing back the paper rubric, I'm handing back a rubric in their folder that then they can access right there. Right? And again, I label it as can view only.
and your rubric then would be like on your drive or your
Correct.
desktop, and you just move it
Into their
to
folder.
their folder.
Correct. And I would change the color so they can see what's graded, that kind of thing. Okay? And again, you can create a folder that you use for collaboration purposes, resources, lesson plans, those types of things. Again, if I go under the Eagles collab, or the our US History collaboration folder, we have it broken down by like units. So we have our Civil War unit, we go in here, and here's all of our stuff for our Civil War unit. And as you can see, Kayla's added some stuff, I've added some things, and it allows both of us to be able to work together, but not meeting in the same room, which is really cool.
So if you put, okay, I'm still back a little bit.
Yep,
here,
no,
but-
that's fine.
So if you put the rubric into their folder,
Correct.
is that the only place that's gonna be, so that, how do you get that to your grade book?
What I do is I put it into my grade book, and I put it into my, like I do my hand grade book, and I do it online grade book. Now, when I put it into their folder, I also have I can also access it, so I can go back and look at it if I need, because I have their folder as well.
Okay, so you're putting it into two different places.
Well, no, I put it into their folder, but I have access to their folder.
So you open your second period folder and you find all your
Yeah, kids,
rubrics which you have.
under my kids' folders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when I go to actually input the grades, Mr. Taylor,
Yeah.
I put it into my red grade book folder, and then I put it into Power
You have a
School.
hard copy
Yeah.
of it and you have your.
Yeah, I have a hard
And I was
copy.
just wondering what you had for like backup.
Oh, yeah, I do, I put it on Power School,
Okay.
and then I also put it in my red grade book, so if they go in and edit it and change it,
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have it in my red grade book, or I have it in Power School, this is what you did, this is what I have down. And that's the other part where I can then go back at the revision history and look, because if they went in and edited it, then I can go back and see, oh, you edited it, and this is what you did. Does that make sense? Remember how I showed you revision
Yeah,
history?
yeah.
So then I can track what they do,
Okay.
if that makes sense. All right, so that's Google Folders. I think those are awesome to be able to collaborate, especially with colleagues. You know, with Google Classroom, students pretty much covers it. Google Folders allows you to deal with colleagues and those types. Collaborating with parents. I think Google Calendar is the best way to do this, through assignments, through upcoming events. You can make this calendar public, which allows anyone to view it. You can make it where it's public to people who have a Grand Forks Public Schools account. So only someone who has the link and is in the Grand Forks Public Schools can view it. No one outside of the Grand Forks Public Schools would be able to view it. Again, here are some options. Here's how to do it. You can send a URL to the parents and they'd be able to access it. We have an assignment calendar that we do for Eagles, and what we do is we take that and we embed it onto our Valley Middle School webpage. So if you go under, I think it's under Teams and then Eagles, and then you click on assignments, it pops up the Google assignment calendar where parents can automatically go in there and view it. And again, that makes it public so anybody in the world can view it, but it's there for parents to be able to view it. Okay? And again, there's directions on that. If you're interested in that, I'll come around and show you some other things with that. I just want to make sure I give you guys plenty of work time because I'm 10 minutes over what I said I would be. Other little tricks, again, on these little tricks, I've given you directions or step 1, 2, 3, this is how you do it. So I'm just going to tell you what they are, and if you're interested in it, go for it. And if you need help with it, I'll come help you. Google Contacts, that's what we were talking about, creating a contact period 1, period 2, period 3, that kind of thing. Google Shorten. This will allow you to shorten a URL very quickly, like that one right up there, for people to use. So for instance, what it looks like is this right here, it's this green and gray right there. If I want to shorten this URL to share with people, all I do is click that button, and here's the URL right there. I can copy it, I can even QR code it so I can send it to someone to take a picture and then get the link.
Where's the green and gray?
You have to download the app.
Okay.
And I'll
Are you in Chrome, or are you in?
I'm in Chrome, yep,
Okay.
so you have to be in Chrome in order to do this.
Okay.
And again, the directions are on there later on in the slides, and you can follow those, or I can come help you with them. The other thing, again, I was talking about the fact that I use this as my backup for Google Drive. Like I back up my computer through Google Drive. This is great for making sure you're not losing any of your material. Now, if Google crashes, and I guess that's possible, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim, then I would lose all my stuff, but not probably gonna happen. So I back up all my stuff through Google rather than going and buying a $100 thing at Best Buy to back it up. This is also great for what I do is I click add to my drive. So if I go under share with me, so they'd share a folder with me, or they'd share a document with me. So like here, Amy Rogers is getting ready for Chromebooks and netbooks. If I wanted to add this to my drive, right there, click add to my drive. Once I click that, then I can put it wherever I want on my drive. So if I want to put it under Google, double click on Google, go to 2013-14 year, then I can go to, oh, I should go on 14.
Whatever folder.
Yeah, whatever folder I want. So then I could go to period 1 and click it in period 1 and click move.
But once it's been shared with you, do you have to put it like that?
Yeah, I would have to move it to it. So and one way to do that is select all of them. So
Okay.
So if they do period 4,
Yeah, you can select.
select all of them and then move all of them at once. So you only have to do it one time.
Especially if you do an assignment, right, then all of them are
Correct.
in there at that
At
time.
the same
and they're-
time.
yeah,
Exactly.
You can just click them all and move
And
them over.
move them all at once. So you can move
Okay.
all 20 at once.
Okay.
So it makes it pretty quick
Yeah.
actually. All right, so that's folders. Okay, that's how you share a folder. That's how you are able to create a folder. Here's some more information on Google options or folder options. Allows people to view or edit it. Have students create a folder for your class and then share it with them. One thing that I like about the folder aspect is if they turn in an assignment and then I have a rubric, I make a copy of that rubric, I fill it out with their information, and I put it right back in their folder.
Oh,
So then that's how I hand back their rubric. So I'm not handing back the paper rubric, I'm handing back a rubric in their folder that then they can access right there. Okay? And again, I label it as can view only.
and your rubric then would be like on your drive or your
Correct.
desktop, and you just move it
Into their
to
folder.
their folder.
Correct. And I would change the color so they can see what's created, that kind of thing. Okay? And again, you can create a folder that you use for collaboration purposes, resources, lesson plans, those types of things. Again, if I go under the Eagles our U.S. History collaboration folder, we have it broken down by like units. So we have our Civil War unit. We go in here, and here's all of our stuff for our Civil War unit. And as you can see, Kayla's added some stuff, I've added some things, and it allows both of us to be able to work together, but not meeting in the same room, which is really cool.
So if you put, okay, I'm still back a little bit
Yep,
here.
no, that's fine.
So if you put their rubric into their folder,
Correct.
is that the only place that's gonna be, so that, how do you get that to your grade book?
What I do is I put it into my grade book and I put it into my, like I do my hand grade book and I do it online grade book. Now, when I put it into their folder, I can also access it, so I can go back and look at it if I need, because I have their folder as well.
Okay, so you're putting it into two different places.
Well, no, I put it into their folder, but I have access to their folder.
So you open your second period folder and you find all your
Yeah, kids,
rubrics which you have.
under my kids' folders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when I go to actually input the grades, Mr. Taylor,
Yeah.
I put it into my red grade book folder, and then I put it into
You
Power
have a
School.
hard copy
Yeah.
of it and you have your.
Yeah, yeah, I have a hard
And I was
copy.
just wondering what you had for like backup.
Oh, yeah, I do, I put it on Power School,
Okay.
and then I also put it in my red grade book, so if they go in and edit it and change it,
Yeah.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have it in my red grade book, or I have it in Power School, this is what you did, this is what I have down. And that's the other part where I can then go back at the revision history and look, because if they went in and edited it, then I can go back and see, oh, you edited, and this is what you did. Does Does that make sense? Remember how I showed you revision
Yeah,
history?
yeah.
So then I can track what they do,
Okay.
if that makes sense. All right, so that's Google Folders. I think those are awesome to be able to collaborate, especially with colleagues. You know, with Google Classroom, students pretty much covers it. Google Folders allows you to deal with colleagues and those types. Collaborating with parents. I think Google Calendar is the best way to do this, through assignments, through upcoming events. You can make this calendar public, which allows anyone to view it. You can make it where it's public to people who have a Grand Forks Public Schools account. So only someone who has the link and is in the Grand Forks Public Schools can view it. No one outside of the Grand Forks Public Schools would be able to view it. Again, here are some options. Here's how to do it. You can send a URL to the parents and they'd be able to access it. We have an assignment calendar that we do for Eagles, and what we do is we take that and we embed it onto our Valley Middle School webpage. So if you go under, I think it's under Teams and then Eagles, and then you click on assignments, it pops up the Google assignment calendar where parents can automatically go in there and view it. And again, that makes it public so anybody in the world can view it, but it's there for parents to be able to view it. Okay? And again, there's directions on that. If you're interested in that, I'll come around and show you some other things with that. I just want to make sure I give you guys plenty of work time because I'm 10 minutes over what I said I would be. Other little tricks, again, on these little tricks, I've given you directions or step 1, 2, 3, this is how you do it. So I'm just going to tell you what they are, and if you're interested in it, go for it. And if you need help with it, I'll come help you. Google Contacts, that's what we were talking about, creating a contact period 1, period 2, period 3, that kind of thing. Google Shorten. This will allow you to shorten a URL very quickly, like that one right up there, for people to use. So for instance, what it looks like is this right here. It's this green and gray right there. If I want to shorten this URL to share with people, all I do is click that button, and here's the URL right there. I can copy it. I can even QR code it so I can send it to someone to take a picture and then get the link.
Where's the green and gray?
You have to download the app.
Okay.
And
Are you in Chrome or are you in?
I'm in Chrome. Yep.
Okay.
So you have to be in Chrome in order to do this.
Okay.
And again, the directions are on there later on in the slides, and you can follow those, or I can come help you with them. The other thing, again, I was talking about the fact that I use this as my backup for Google Drive. Like I back up my computer through Google Drive. This is great for making sure you're not losing any of your material. Now, if Google crashes, and I guess that's possible, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim, then I would lose all my stuff, but not probably gonna happen. So I back up all my stuff through Google rather than going and buying a $100 thing at Best Buy to back it up. This is also great for working offline. So if I'm in my car and I wanna access something on Google, I have it on my desktop, pull it open, start typing on it. Wait a minute, what happens when, like how do I save that material if I'm offline? When I sync with Google next time or once I get on the internet, it automatically syncs and saves where you left off. It's awesome. And then the other really cool thing, which I just learned 2 days ago, it's called Google Tone. And actually you were there when I was learning about it, and I was ecstatic about it. I was so excited. What Google Tone is if Jeff has Google Tone, what I would need to do is just send out, your sound has to be on for this, and again, this is an app that you have to download, but this little blue one right there, if I click this, it makes that sound. If Jeff has Google Tone app on his computer, on the right-hand corner of his computer, a little pop-up will come up. He clicks on that, and it's gonna bring him to this web page that I'm at within 30 seconds. So if you're working with your students and you want everybody on the same website, you click that, it sends out the tone to everybody, it'll pop up on their computer, they click it, it brings them to the website within 30 seconds, which is very, very cool, and I can show you again how it works if you have questions on that or if you're interested. Any questions for me? I know I overloaded or I gave you guys a lot of resources, but I want to make sure you guys have resources, and if you have questions, I can answer them.
I want to download Google Tone because I didn't do it the other day during our staff meeting.
Perfect.
Because I didn't have my.
So then what you're going to want to do is go to Google Tone, downloading, you'll go to google.com, type in Google Tone, you'll click on the link that looks like this.
Okay, wait a sec. Go to google.com.
Yep, just regular Google.
Okay, I'm in my Google account. Is
So, no, you'll wanna
Oh.
open a new tab and just type in google.com.
it, okay,
Okay, and then you type in Google Tone,
and then you type in,
Google Tone right there.
is it case sensitive?
No, it isn't case sensitive. And then I think it's like the second or third link, and it said, this is what it looks like, Google Tone, Chrome Web Store. You have to be in Chrome in order for this to work. So make sure you're in Chrome.
Chrome Web Store?
Web Store, yep, click on that. And then at the top, it will say Add to Chrome.
Okay.
Click that.
And add.
And then it will download, and then you'll get this little blue one, this little blue thing that appears on your Chrome web page.
And that means it's there.
Yep, it's there. So now, the one thing is we're too far apart right now in order for me to share it, or in order, like if I were to click it right now, yours might not get it because we're too far apart. And because I don't have it printed in, or I don't have it plugged into a projector, if you have it plugged into a projector, it's gonna, like, the sound will travel. But like, did you get hers? Yeah, see,
I
so,
heard yours.
yeah, so like if I were to send it to you right now, Jane? So did you get that one, Jen?
I did.
Okay, like Jeff got hit.
No,
So if I were to bring my computer closer to you,
okay.
So
So,
so if I were to send you one now,
that was yours.
yep, so if you click on that right there,
Okay,
that will bring you to the website I'm at.
okay.
So,
So you go to the website
go to the
and
website
then
click
you,
it.
yeah, so if you want
And then
all
you
the
click
kids to
on
be,
that.
Did you just get it? There.
try it again, one more time.
so then if I click on a website and then click on the little speaker,
Yep,
if they have downloaded that app,
they will pop up
they'll
on
get
this.
it.
Correct,
Okay,
and then that will bring everybody to the same website.
all right.
Try it.
Yep.
Yep.
Just the schools page.
The problem might be is your volume all the way, oh, there it is, right there.
Got it?
Yep, so then it pops up like that,
Oh,
and it brings me to that web page.
that's so much easier than trying to write down the website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
write down the
Yeah.
URL.
Yeah.
Shorter
Cool.
ones, some kids have.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
issues-
awesome.
Have issues with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah,
They
is
type
it
it
capitalized, is it?
capitalized, they miss
Or
a
if they're poor
period,
typers.
oh,
Yeah.
They can't type, they're hunting and pecking.
It takes forever.
Exactly. So
I
this
thought that's
allows you,
awesome.
it allows you to do it quick. The one thing that I have noticed, and again, I've only played with it 3 days, or 2 days now, is like if you wanna get it to all the kids out in the entire class,
Right.
make sure you have it on the sound system.
Yeah.
And so that
Yeah.
way, cause what's actually transporting it is the sound.
Right.
They have to be able to hear the sound. So
Your
make sure
computer
you-
has to hear mine.
Yes.
So if you
So
do
do
it
our
through your
kids
smart
netbooks?
board,
I'm sorry.
you do it through your smart board, is that generally?
Yeah, it should work.
Okay.
I haven't tried it yet because again, I just learned about it in 2 days.
Not like
but
we
it
have to
should
hold
work.
our microphone to it.
Yeah, you might have to hold the microphone, but it should work. What was your
And then
question?
do our kids have, when they're on their browser, do they use Chrome in their netbooks? I don't even know that.
On like,
'Cause don't they have to be on? in
They have to be on Chrome.
To get.
Yeah.
correct.
Do they have to have this Google Tone downloaded on their netbook as well?
Yes, they do, but again, that's free and it just took us, what, 5 minutes? Yeah, to download it. Now, most of like the 6th and 7th graders are using Chromebooks, so they will have Chrome.
Sure,
For the 8th graders who still use netbooks,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Chrome aspect of it yet.
Got it.
So that's something that I'd have to look into. So, but for 6th and 7th graders, yes, it should work.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I thought that was a very cool tool.
And then when you got that other little green one?
Yep, shorten,
Yeah,
Google
that was-
shorten.
Do you go to the Google store?
Go, same thing, I use the same exact process. Go to Google, type in Google shorten, click on the Google shorten Chrome web store, and then click add to Chrome. I mean, it's the exact same process that we just went through, it's just you type in shorten. And it allows you, again, to be able to shorten things pretty quickly.
But the other cool thing about Google Tone is that if you're sharing it, you can see who's
Yeah,
gotten it. 'Cause
exactly.
it tells you up there.
Correct, yep, exactly. So that's really cool. And again, the shortened will still allow you to send out shortened links, so you still, if you still plan on sending those out, that will allow you to do that as well. But if you're working with your students, I would say Google Tone is
Yeah.
a cool, quick way to do it, so. All right, well, I'm gonna have, again, I talked way longer than I thought.